Hi, I'm Emily Chang, author of Brotopia and host of Bloomberg Technology. Welcome to the SHEconomics series, honoring women who are blazing trails as founders and CEOs. Today, I'm joined by Jenny Zhu, CEO and founder of Triangle Home Fashions, a designer, manufacturer, and wholesaler of pillows, beddings, curtains, and more. Jenny, thank you so much for joining us. It's wonderful to be here with you.
Thank you for having me.
So you grew up in the province of Shandong in China. What was that like?
It was really fun when I was in my, elementary. I stayed in that village. It's a very small village with my parents, my grandparents, all the friends. I didn't know anything better, so we had a really good time. Then when I was in middle school and high school, my parents sent me to a boarding school. So that's, my mom is a teacher. That's always the best education. He wanted me to follow her to be, a teacher. And that's, when I was in middle school, high school.
What kind of kid were you? Did you want to be a teacher?
No. When I was a teenager, I remember I read a story from a magazine. It's about a young female entrepreneur to start her business and succeed. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I wanted to be a business owner one day. And if she can do it, so can I. So that's when I was really starting to have that the entrepreneurial in me.
And your first entrepreneurial dream was to own the biggest laundromat chain in China. It's bringing back memories, isn't it?
It's like the entrepreneurial experience for me is this dry clean business I had with, in the beginning. I saw I know nothing about the business. I just, I learned how to promote it, had a membership, and how to scale it. So I was very ambitious to compete with, I think, the biggest laundry business in Beijing. And I was, remember when I went, to get an order from this hotel. I was not really setting up for that, but I got the order. In order to deliver it, I think I spent 3 days non-sleep with my employee to finish that order, deliver it. And, the business was sold in the end, and but I learned a lot, and that experience really gave me the confidence, even though in the end I didn't become the biggest laundry and dry clean business in Beijing, but I definitely had that, to own a business, to scale the business. I feel like I love it. I wanted to keep it doing.
So you get into the Fashion Institute of Technology. Yeah. You can't study fashion design, but you have to study
home textiles
instead.
Yeah, so I learned, I think before I graduate, I find a job in a major supplier in the home fashion industry. I worked there for 4 years, and in 2008, I saw I had a better way to do business, and I had a vision to, create the beautiful, affordable luxury with the unique design, great quality, exceptional service. So I thought I'm gonna start it. I know even in the 2008, it was. How
do you even start a business like that? What was the very first thing you did?
It's a very difficult decision, and because to start that new business during the financial crisis by quitting my six-figure stable job and a soon-to-be single mom with 1-year-old baby was very scary. And I always loved, I think, risk-taking. I thought, this might be the hard time, but I always a firm believer, the hard time is the time for you to get ahead if you can survive through this. So that's kind of, I thought I gonna do it. And that's how I started. And in the beginning is really, find the location, find a sales person, and it's really very a naive way. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna build a beautiful product. And I do have the manufacturer relationship, and it's very, it's really, I think when I think back, I think I should have not started at that time, but at that time I just feel like I'm gonna try it. If I can never be prepared 100%, if I go through this, I probably will have more opportunity. If I lose, I will be smarter next time. So that's how I started.
Well, and I think, I mean, at least I've heard from entrepreneurs, some of them say if they knew how hard it was before they started, they never would have done it. So perhaps sometimes that ignorance is empowering.
It is. It's a lot of people, when you think about it, you think too much. Is you just, then you scare yourself. And sometimes you just have to do it.
How did you get a new business off the ground in the middle of a financial crisis as a single mom with a 1-year-old child?
It's, I think now I look back, I think it is the best time I started, because the traditional way when you start in that home textile business is you go to this big traditional brick and mortar store. You get an order, then you ship to them. That's all the traditional business at that time. Because the financial crisis, a lot of these stores, they don't want a new vendor. So that's really the challenge, is really, make me to think what's another way to do business in this field. So that's the e-com. Actually, that time, not so many people even wanted to do e-com business with drop ship the order, because you have to own the inventory, then you have to start your own design. There's nothing guaranteed. So I think that differentiate us, from the beginning. We build the ground up to serve e-com marketplace and the large decor brand. And, the e-com focused business model, build it focus on data-driven and, efficient warehouse drop ship capability, and the IT infrastructure, and all the, of course, the global sourcing. And with our very diversified team, I think that it really from that time shaped, for us to become the front runner in the e-com, focused business model.
You now sell your goods on Amazon and Wayfair and Target.
All the major e-com, pretty much.
What is it like to think about how you started and how hard that was, and see how much progress you've made? It's very, I think I used to be, when I was, doing the first 8 or 9 years business, you just self-grinding. I think one of the biggest difficulty is the lack of the guidance and the networking. I pretty much grinding in the first 8 and 9 years, and
it's very, that's kind of the reason why I want to come here today to share my story and, to share the mistake and to, some success for the women in the market who wanted to start their business or, scale their business, which they can probably learn, hopefully not make the same mistake I had or, share some inspiration.
What do you think the mistakes are that you made?
I think the first mistake is really when I started the business, I should, instead of like putting your head in the business, you should look out and, what is the network there and reach out to more. Today I'm belong to the Women Organization Group and C200 and Enterprising Women. It's really the priceless, you can get advice, you can see the inspiration, you can see like when you get to a bump, when I hear all the sisterhood, they have the same, it's really nothing personal. It happened a lot. When I had it, it's, oh my God, why I have this? The things happened in the business regarding, the scaling or everything is just, you can share so many stories and you can, get over that instead of you self-learning a lot of things. I think that's one of the mistakes I wish I did is to reach out to your peer group to get a solid sounding board as advisors to learn from them. That's very beneficial. That's one of the things I wish I did.
Did it feel lonely in those early days?
That's very, that's all. I think that's a lot of women entrepreneurs had that. Feels like, especially you have the family, you have the kids, and then, you have the business. I think it's, I think another thing is almost like a mystery, when before you say, oh, you want to balance your work and life. I think that's such a BS. Work always been part of life. It's just like another hobby. I feel that people talk too much about the heaviness, almost like the work is too heavy, the life is so light. I think it's, I think the key is it's not about the balance work and life. It's really to separate the important from urgent. A lot of time people getting into the business feel, oh my God, I need to do this, I need to do that. That's really getting burned out. But if you really separate out what is really important to you, if you have to go to a kids activity, you should go. And for certain urgent stuff, that's a lot of time I learned it is right now is how to let delegate, how to let other people help you, because you cannot do it yourself, whether you're small or big. You always either you reach out to, your peer for some advice, or I think sometimes it's really beneficial to hire for your weakness. Then you can really put your more time, focus on your strengths and grow faster than just self-grinding on a lot of things you're not good at it.
So delegate and hire to support your weaknesses.
Yes.
How did you manage as a single mom and dealing with all of the things a founder and a CEO needs to do? I mean, how did you do it?
I think, that's kind of the mistake I had in the first 9 years.
You did it, by the way, so maybe you made some mistakes, but you also did a lot of things right.
Yeah, now I think, when I started in the 2018, actually 2017, I started getting a lot of calls, say, do you want to sell your business? I thought this is all the, spam. I didn't really look at it. Then one day I was just happy, I saw one of the emails, I just Google it, oh, who is this people? And this is one of the, big a private equity firm. So, I thought this is legit. So I did have a call with them, and then that's how I started. So, I was close to the burnout at that time. Just like the business grew very fast, and I saw so much opportunity. But there's also, I need a big warehouse. I need more people to do it. I was 100% owned by myself at that time. I thought, in order to really scale, I need to do something. I needed some help. So that's kind of, I started working on the MA. And after a whole year, I learned with, I did my first transaction with TZP Group in New York. And so from there, I learned a lot is really regarding delegation. We're talking about all the key women risks. So it's, I started really self-reflecting and see, okay, if we want to grow from here to, the next level, I needed to learn how to delegate and I needed to have the clear vision, how to communicate with my team to get us to somewhere. So did you manage to fend off burnout? I think after that I did really starting to learn, how to separate the important from the urgent. Not that you put the fire every day. That's really, a lot of fire is urgent things. You should let your team to do it. You should not putting the fire if you want to grow your business every day. So I started really focus on building my team, focus on the vision, where the company, what we should go, what's the goal what is our goals.
What's been the impact of the pandemic on your business, especially given the supply chain issues?
Right. I think the COVID put a lot of challenge on a lot of the business. I think for us is good and bad. I think the good part is because of the pandemic, a lot of people stay home and then started looking in their house. They want to do the renovation, decoration. So there's a certain demand in our sector, a lot of demand. The difficulty is because supply chain, how you're gonna really meet that demand. That's one of the things when I tell my team, I always believe, when you have the hard time, that's the time you can get ahead of everyone. So that's what we did is, we tried to look at the inventory, and because the ERP system and the data we have, so we can be really forward thinking to get the inventory here. While in our industry, a lot of inventory level is like 70%, ours is up 90%.
Wow.
And, that's all because we have a very nimble, the global sourcing and strong China office team. And it's been, I think it's a blessing for us go through this COVID and still growing a lot. And in the meantime, I think is really give us a good foundation for the next years to come.
Where do you think the business will be in 5 years?
So it's very exciting, actually. It's, in the last 10 years, we kind of build this winning recipe. So how to operate the multiple category in the home categories so we wanted to, in the next 3-5 years, we wanted to build this large tech core platform by focusing our core strengths in a core category, then expanding into the other home categories to build this complete the room strategy, which is, when the customer will look at us, we can build for every room, whether from living room, bedroom, bathroom, outdoor, And with the curated lifestyle, also we have the life staging from a baby to the kids to the teens, all the way to 55 empty nesters. So that's kind of the goal we wanted to do. Of course, regarding revenue wise, we love to do a 10-figure business. It's really a matter of time. So the good thing is we have a really good, clear vision for the whole team and where we want it to be. So it's going to be very exciting for us.
So when you look back on it all, what are you most proud of?
I think the most proud of is really building this, it's in the initial, when I first started this business, personally, I wanted to, I want a financial security, getting that. Then evolving into, I worked with almost 13 years with my team, really build this diversified team. Is, our team is very dynamic. We have over 60% women, and from 8 different races. We counted, we probably speak over 11 different languages.
Wow.
I think if the most proud of things probably is, the team we build together. And I really hope, it's gonna carry on, into the next stage. And that's probably one of the most proud thing, I would think.
That is certainly something to be proud of. We will be watching you and your dynamic team taking it into the next stage. Jenny Zhu, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful to have you here.